Hey everybody, it's Eddie and Dan. We're the Deathless Dogs, and we'd like to wish you a happy New Year's from the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen. Instead of your regularly scheduled Fresh Bottle Friday, Dan and I want to drop our favorites of 2021 on you.
These will be our favorite bottles in various categories that we have predetermined about 5 minutes ago. You get to the end of the year and you realize, wow, I drank a lot of stuff this year. Like, how would I rank these things? What are the things that stood out above the others? We put together a list of 5 different categories, and we're going to give you our favorites in each one of them. I think we're going to start out here with something that's going to be just more locally driven, but store picks. I feel like store picks have gained quite a bit of popularity in the last year, even more so than in the previous year, because people are realizing that these are they're a great value a lot of the time. And if you've got a store around you that does good picks and has a good palate, you're going to be lucking into some really good stuff. So yeah. We'll start out with our favorite store picks of 2021.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, I think. I thought about it for about a minute or two. This is the Stark's Barrel Pick Knob Creek, just shy of 12 years old, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that would be in my running too for favorite of the year. I probably drank more of that this year than any other whiskey, actually. I had multiple bottles of it.
Yeah, I know I bought at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, if you've seen me on live streams hanging out like on Cheech's channel, this is the Knob Creek I'm drinking.
Yeah, it's got a pretty neat sticker of the ship that got run aground on the Suez Canal. Came out around that time, so it was very topical at the time. The bottle has stood the test of time, and it will be missed when it's all gone.
That's the only thing with those store picks, is when they're gone, they're gone. For my store pick this year, since I knew Eddie was taking that one, I went with one of our other favorite local stores, being Backwater Spirits, and their KBBS finished Obtainium Light Whiskey. It's basically like s'mores in a bottle. You can see how dark it is. I can see it on the bottom. There's the sludge going on. I don't know if that's going to pick up on camera if it washes away too fast.
I don't know if you can see like the cloudiness of the glass inside the bottle too.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of flavor imparted on this guy. This is Obtainium Light Whiskey, 16 years old, and then it is finished in a Toppling Goliath KBBS barrel, which is the Kentucky Brunch Brand Stout, I believe. That barrel that had the beer in it was actually originally a 12-year Heaven Hill barrel, so likely an Elijah Craig barrel-proof barrel. So there's a lineage to this wood that has come together into this whiskey in a really cool way. Everybody we've poured it for has just been blown away by it.
You're talking both figuratively and literally, because this one sneaks up on you.
Below hazmat, but we are at 66.5% alcohol, so what's that, 133? It doesn't taste like it's that much.
No,
like
it's pretty much s'mores in a glass.
I think store picks are fun. I think it's something you should keep an eye out for in your local stores. I think it's a good way to support your local smaller shops too. Next category is kind of our hey, please start selling this in our area so we don't have to travel across state lines or a couple hours in the car to find them, because we really enjoy both of these bottles.
That is a huge category.
Yeah, that's a lot. Basically, we can call it things we wish they sold here. First up, Penelope Barrel Strength. I love this bottle. I pick it up anytime I see it in a store because I know it's going to be good. I've picked up their other offerings and like them as well, but the Barrel Strength I think is just king. I haven't had the toasted yet, hoping to get some of that relatively soon, but again, I have to travel to make that happen. MGP whiskey, 4 grain. They sent us glassware, they sent us some samples of stuff. They're super cool guys. I think their name is kind of taking off. I hear their distribution is going to increase in the coming year, which is great news.
Yeah.
Much like we're hearing tale of the bottle you're going to put up here.
Yes, indeed.
Becoming available here soon.
Smoke Wagon. I'm excited about this one because I like their flavor profile. I like what they're doing. I think the bottle is super cool. I think everything about it is very neat aesthetically, drinkability-wise, the whole 9 yards. That caramel apple flavor that they get out of the smoke wagon. I don't know if that's from the barrels. I don't know if it's from the MGP product that they source from. I don't know if it's because they're aging the barrels in the desert of Nevada. Who knows? But whatever they're doing, I like it, and I want it here in western Wisconsin.
It's not like lights out amazing. I wouldn't say either of these are, but these are great drinkable bottles that you like having on your shelf.
Right.
And they're going to be crowd pleasers for people, both aesthetically and taste-wise. And it's just, they're good things that we hope to find on our local shelves very soon.
We decided that we're doing sleeper picks. Bottles that you may see on your shelves and not know what they are, so you just let them slip on by. I'd like to start out with 2 bottles, albeit they're mini bottles, but the Whiskey Baron series. I think this is kind of a contracted wild turkey project. The price point is a little bit steep for these mini bottles, $44.99 and $39.99 respectively, but they're very good and they stand out, and I like them both quite a bit for different reasons. When these get drank through, probably in a matter of, 3 to 5 sessions, it's going to be kind of depressing.
Yeah, but the good news is it is batched, and batch 2 is out now. This is batch 1. But I think people are overlooking these because of the size of the bottle versus the price of the bottle. These are basically half bottles of whiskey. And if you look at it like that, it's be like an $80 and a $90 full bottle of whiskey. I would pay that for these if they were in full bottles. Therefore, I don't think paying this much for a half bottle is insane. You can also look at it in the way of there's a limited amount of this stuff, and they're stretching that supply out as far as they can, not by watering it down, but just by putting it into smaller containers.
They're pretty cool looking too, you know? It's
Yeah.
got that old school aesthetic, and I think that's neat.
Mine is not an expensive bottle. Mine's not a small bottle, but it packs big flavor. The Redwood Empire Emerald Giant, our second place this year in the King of the Rye tournament. I think this is the definition of a sleeper pick, as it was an underdog from the start. The lowest price bottle in that tournament. We're finding it under $30 still, which is unreal. I've seen it in other stores, in other areas, going for as high as like $35 to $40. Not a bad price at all on these. Very drinkable, juicy, refreshing rye is what I would call it. Not a super spicy one, if that's what you're looking for. This is a light, nice, easy, drinkable rye. I think it'd be a good gateway rye for people who are trying to get into it. It's just solid all around at a low price, and it looks cool as hell too, which never hurts. Really, this whole core line of Redwood Empire I'd put up there. They've got the Pipe Dream and the Lost Monarch, and then the Emerald Giant. Really good stuff for the price they're charging. If you haven't tried it yet, give them a shot. As an appropriate segue from my bottle of the Emerald Giant, we're going to go to our rye of the year. And my pick, it's the one that beat Emerald Giant in that tournament, the Michter's 10. This bottle was fantastic. We picked it up technically in December of last year, but we're calling that within the 2021 whiskey year because we didn't drink it until 2021.
Right. It was reviewed this past July.
Right. It's everything I said about Emerald Giant, but just amped way up with the complexity and sweetness and smoothness that only that 10-year age can really bring to it.
Right.
This is just great, well-rounded rye. Again, juicy, kind of a strawberry flavor to it. Very pleasant, very drinkable. You know, a hefty price on it. I'd say it's worth it, especially if you're somebody who's drinking the regular Michter's rye regularly. And you see a 10, jump. I'd say take the jump.
Yeah. For mine, this should come as no shocker. Rocket Top Rye. Now, it is not the same as Emerald Giant, but it is from the same distillery. This is Redwood Empire's own distillate. It's bottled in bond. Those tropical notes really stand out. The mango, pineapple, just the smoothness of it.
I was thinking about picking this one myself, and I was like, well, is that like recency bias because it's like the latest rye we've really drank? But It's so good. I actually find myself craving it, honestly. It really makes me excited for what Redwood Empire is going to be doing in the future. Yeah. Side note, too, best blend of the year is blending this and the Grizzly Beast Bourbon into a burr rye. Holy shit.
That might actually be one of the best whiskeys we had this year.
If they sold that, if they actually had their Lost Monarch version of their own stuff, that would probably be my whiskey of the year. Now we're going to go with our main event, I guess we would call it. This is Bourbon of the Year. But I would honestly just call this whiskey of the year, too, in my opinion, for my pick. This is just my favorite bottle that I've had this entire year. I don't know about you.
Probably going to be saying the same.
It's the Bardstown Discovery 4.
Disco 4.
Again, this was released in December 2020, but it didn't hit our area until like February, maybe March.
It was late in the game.
Yeah, so that's when we got it and we drank it this year, and I was blown away by it. We tried the Fusion previous to that on separate occasions, separate from each other, and thought it was good. Fusion 4 was good, but this, wow. This is everything I like about bourbon in one bottle. Good age on it, and it's, purportedly a blend of Wild Turkey, Barton, and Jim Beam whiskeys.
Which we all like.
It's like, hey, let's just take three things you really like and put them all together into one.
With nice age statements, though.
Yeah, big ages on those. It's so solid and is my whiskey of the year.
4 was very good, and it is an admirable pick. Russell's 13. There can be no other for me. When you told me that your uncle found this in Michigan, it was like, yes!
Yeah, Uncle Dave came through big time.
That was great, because I don't think I've seen this since.
I saw a picture of it at Bourbon Fest. And actually, I think Neil got one in the Woodman's Lottery. So good for him. He got one.
Well played.
And he was saying this was his whiskey of the year after just trying it when he was here back in like June or whatever it was.
The thing that I love about the Russell's line is that it's got that boldness, that thickness. It hits you with a little bit of fruit flavors, but also some of those tobacco notes. It's reminiscent to me of like sitting in a leather chair and smoking a cigar. It's class in a glass, man. That's the way I describe it. I want to keep what we have left and just try to hold on to that for a little while longer, but I don't know if we can. It's so good. Like, I find myself kind of thinking about this one quite a bit and wanting to drink. In a way, just talking about it, making my mouth water a little bit.
Both of these bottles were just big time winners for us this year. We live in an area, we don't get, the old Carters and all that kind of shit. We don't see that around here. So these are bottles that are going to be about as good as it gets on shelves in our area. This is the top of the heap for us right now.
The cream of the crop rises to the top.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
So this brings to an end 2021, a very strange year in general, and a very strange year whiskey-wise with supply chain issues, and you saw it in allocation season this year. There just was not as much stuff.
Stag was lacking.
I think we still got some great stuff throughout the year. We still had a lot of fun drinking what we could find. What were your favorites in our categories here this year? Let us know. Is there a different category that you want to call out and ask us what our favorite would be in that? Comment it below. It is the last day of 2021 right now. So we hope you have a safe and happy New Year tonight. Fresh bottle of pop something right at midnight, I'd recommend. Champagne or whiskey, or both.
Do a double pop as the ball drops.
That's how you do it. We got to thank you guys for sticking with us throughout this whole year. It's been cool. We've been officially uploading to YouTube for an entire year now.
Wow.
We were doing this on Facebook alone before, and we made the jump to YouTube in December of 2020 is when we made the jump. So it's been, a year with you guys here, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been great to get to know a lot of people in the community and hang out. We're very appreciative of everybody watching our videos, commenting, sharing, all that good stuff. We love you. Thank you so much.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next year. do like a whiskey champagne double pop as the thing drops.
It's a ball.
As the ball drops.